Before you try to change your life, before you try to change your future, before you try to change the people around you, you must first learn to sit with yourself. Because the truth is simple. Most people are not defeated by life. They are defeated by their own mind. They are defeated by the voice inside that says, "You are not ready. You are not strong enough. You have already failed too many times. This is too difficult. Start tomorrow." And slowly, without even realizing it, they begin to obey that voice. They stop taking action. They stop believing in themselves. They stop pushing forward. They start accepting less than what they were meant for. But listen carefully. Your mind is not always telling you the truth. Sometimes your mind is only repeating fear. Sometimes your mind is only repeating past pain. Sometimes your mind is only protecting you from discomfort. And sometimes the thing your mind calls danger is actually growth. That is why the first victory in life is not outside you. It is inside you. The first mountain you must climb is not success. It is not money. It is not status. It is not respect. The first mountain is your own mind. Because if you cannot control your mind, you will always be controlled by your emotions. If you cannot control your thoughts, you will always be controlled by fear. If you cannot control your focus, you will always be pulled in 1,000 directions. And if you cannot control yourself, then no amount of success will give you peace. Many people want to master life. They want the perfect career. They want the perfect body. They want the perfect relationship. They want the perfect future, but they do not want to master the habits that create that life. They want confidence, but they avoid discomfort. They want peace, but they feed their anger. They want success, but they cannot stay consistent. They want respect, but they do not respect the promises they make to themselves. They want a powerful life, but they have not yet built a powerful mind. And this is where everything begins. A strong life is built by a strong mind. Not a mind that never feels fear. Not a mind that never feels pain. Not a mind that never gets tired. A strong mind is not one that feels nothing. A strong mind is one that feels everything and still chooses the right action. It feels fear but does not stop. It feels doubt but does not surrender. It feels pain but does not become bitter. It feels tired, but still keeps the promise. That is mastery. Mastery is not about being perfect. It is about being aware. Aware of your thoughts, aware of your habits, aware of your reactions, aware of the stories you keep telling yourself. Because every person lives inside a story. Some people tell themselves, "I am unlucky." Some people tell themselves, "I am not smart enough." Some people tell themselves, "People like me do not succeed." Some people tell themselves, "I always fail." And because they repeat the story every day, they start living like it is true. But what if the story is not true? What if you are not weak? What if you are only untrained? What if you are not lazy? What if you are only distracted? What if you are not incapable? What if you are only afraid to begin again? What if your life is not over? What if your real life begins the moment you decide to master your mind? Because the mind can be trained. Just like the body. If you want a strong body, you train it. You lift weight, you run, you stretch, you repeat, you suffer a little, you recover, you return again. The body becomes strong through repetition. The mind is the same. You do not build focus by wishing for it. You build focus by returning to the task again and again. You do not build discipline by feeling motivated. You build discipline by doing what must be done. Even when motivation is gone, you do not build peace by avoiding problems. You build peace by learning not to be destroyed by them. Every day is training. The way you wake up is training. The way you speak to yourself is training. The way you respond to pressure is training. The way you handle rejection is training. The way you act when nobody is watching is training. Life is always training you. The question is, are you training yourself in strength, or are you training yourself in weakness? Every time you quit when things get hard, you train your mind to quit. Every time you delay what needs to be done, you train your mind to escape. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you train your mind not to trust you. But every time you show up, even when it is difficult, you train your mind to believe in you again. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you train your mind to become stronger. Every time you remain calm when you want to react, you train your mind to become free. This is the secret. Freedom is not doing whatever you feel like doing. That is not freedom. That is slavery to impulse. Real freedom is being able to choose your action, even when your emotions are loud. Real freedom is when anger rises, but you choose patience. Real freedom is when fear appears, but you choose courage. Real freedom is when laziness calls, but you choose discipline. Real freedom is when the world is noisy, but your mind remains clear. That is power, not the power to control everything around you, but the power to control what happens within you. Because life will not always obey your plans, people will disappoint you. Opportunities will not always come on time. Some doors will close. Some people will leave. Some efforts will go unnoticed. Some days will feel heavy. And when life becomes heavy, your mind will be tested. It is easy to be calm when everything is going well. It is easy to be disciplined when you feel motivated. It is easy to believe when results are coming. But who are you when nothing is working? Who are you when nobody claps? Who are you when you are tired? Who are you when you are misunderstood? Who are you when you fail? That is where your real character is revealed. Not in comfort, in pressure, not in words, in choices, not in dreams, in discipline. The mind that is not trained will panic in difficulty. It will complain, it will blame, it will search for escape. But the trained mind pauses, it observes, it breathes, it asks, what is the lesson here? What can I control? What is the next right action? This pause is powerful. Between what happens to you and how you respond, there is a space. In that space lives your freedom. Most people lose because they react too quickly. They get angry and speak. They feel afraid and stop. They feel hurt and close their heart. They feel jealous and compare. They feel tired and quit. But the person who masters the mind learns to pause. One breath can save you from one wrong decision. One moment of awareness can stop 1 year of regret. One disciplined choice can change the direction of your life. So learn to pause. When anger comes, pause. When fear comes, pause. When doubt comes, pause. When temptation comes, pause. When your old habits call you back, pause. Do not become the emotion. Observe the emotion. You are not your anger. You are the one watching the anger. You are not your fear. You are the one facing the fear. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who can choose which thoughts to follow. This is the beginning of mastery. The mind is like water. When it is disturbed, you cannot see clearly. When it is calm, everything becomes visible. A disturbed mind makes small problems look huge. A disturbed mind creates enemies where there are none. A disturbed mind sees failure as final. A disturbed mind turns pain into identity. But a calm mind sees the truth. It sees that failure is feedback. It sees that rejection is redirection. It sees that delay is not denial. It sees that pain can become wisdom. It sees that discipline is not punishment. Discipline is protection. Discipline protects your future from your excuses. Discipline protects your purpose from your mood. Discipline protects your dreams from your distractions. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. Discipline is the path to freedom. Because the undisciplined person is controlled by everything, controlled by the phone, controlled by comfort, controlled by opinions, controlled by fear, controlled by anger, controlled by comparison, controlled by temporary pleasure. But the disciplined person becomes difficult to control. They do not move just because people talk. They do not stop just because things are hard. They do not change their direction every time emotions change. They become steady. And in a world full of distraction, a steady person becomes powerful. Look around. Most people are running everywhere, but going nowhere. They are busy, but not focused. They are connected, but not present. They are entertained, but not fulfilled. They know everything about others, but very little about themselves. They spend hours watching other people live, while their own life is waiting. This is why mastering the mind is so important, because if you do not choose your focus, the world will choose it for you. If you do not protect your attention, someone else will use it. If you do not decide who you are becoming, your habits will decide for you. Your attention is your life. Whatever you give attention to grows. If you focus on fear, fear grows. If you focus on excuses, excuses grow. If you focus on pain, pain grows. If you focus on growth, growth grows. If you focus on discipline, discipline grows. So ask yourself, what am I feeding every day? Am I feeding my fear or am I feeding my faith? Am I feeding my weakness or am I feeding my strength? Am I feeding my distractions or am I feeding my purpose? Because your life is not built in one big moment. Your life is built in small daily choices. The choice to wake up, the choice to work, the choice to train, the choice to forgive, the choice to focus, the choice to try again, the choice to stay silent when silence is wiser, the choice to continue when quitting would be easier. Small choices become habits. Habits become identity. Identity becomes destiny. So, do not underestimate the small things. The person who cannot control small things will struggle to control big things. If you cannot control your morning, how will you control your future? If you cannot control your words, how will you control your relationships? If you cannot control your emotions, how will you control your decisions? If you cannot control your habits, how will you control your life? Start where you are. Do not wait for a perfect moment. The perfect moment is a trick of the mind. The mind says start when you have more time. Start when you feel ready. Start when life gets easier. Start when people support you. But life changes when you start before you feel ready. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is action while fear is present. Discipline is not the absence of laziness. Discipline is action while laziness is speaking. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is strength in the middle of problems. So begin now. Begin with 1 promise, not 10 promises, not a perfect plan, not a complete transformation overnight. 1 promise, wake up on time. Train your body. Write for 10 minutes. Pray or reflect in silence. Finish 1 important task. Stop complaining for 1 day. Put your phone away for 1 hour. Speak to yourself with respect. 1 promise kept creates strength, then another, and slowly something changes. You begin to trust yourself again. And self-trust is one of the greatest powers in life. Because when you trust yourself, you stop begging others to believe in you. When you trust yourself, you stop needing constant motivation. When you trust yourself, you stop running from difficulty. You know that whatever happens, you will handle it. That is confidence. Confidence is not loud. Real confidence is quiet. It does not need to prove itself every day. It does not need to announce itself. It does not need to dominate others. Real confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. It comes from discipline. It comes from struggle. It comes from doing hard things when nobody is watching. The world sees the result, but you know the training. The world sees the success, but you know the sacrifice. The world sees the calm, but you know the battles you fought inside your own mind. And that is why you must respect your journey. You may not be where you want to be yet, but if you are trying, you are not lost. You may have failed before, but if you are learning, you are not finished. You may feel weak today, but if you keep training, strength will come. Do not hate yourself because you are still growing. A seed does not become a tree in one day. It grows in darkness first. It grows quietly. It grows beneath the surface before anyone can see it. Your growth may be the same. Maybe nobody sees your effort right now. Maybe nobody understands your discipline. Maybe nobody knows how hard you are trying to change. But keep going. Silent growth is still growth. One day, what you built in silence will speak loudly. But until then, master the mind. Master the mind that wants everything quickly. Master the mind that compares your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Master the mind that thinks slow progress is failure. Master the mind that wants to quit because results are not immediate. Good things take time. Strong roots take time. A powerful mind takes time. You cannot rush mastery. You must return to the practice every day. Some days you will win. Some days you will struggle. Some days you will fall back into old habits. But do not turn one bad day into a bad identity. Do not say, I failed, so I am a failure. Say, I failed, so I will learn. Do not say, I am weak. Say, I am training. Do not say, I cannot change. Say, I am changing one choice at a time. The language you use with yourself matters. Your words become commands to your mind. If you keep saying, I am broken, your mind will search for proof. If you keep saying, I am growing, your mind will search for strength. Speak to yourself like someone you are responsible for saving, because you are. You are responsible for saving yourself from excuses. You are responsible for saving yourself from distractions. You are responsible for saving yourself from the old version of you that wants comfort more than growth. No one else can do this work for you. People can guide you. People can support you. People can inspire you. But no one can master your mind for you. No one can breathe for you. No one can choose for you. No one can build your discipline for you. This is your work. And that may sound heavy, but it is also beautiful. Because it means your power is not outside you. It is not in the hands of people who doubted you. It is not in the hands of those who left you. It is not in the hands of your past mistakes. It is not in the hands of your circumstances. Your power begins with your next choice. Right here, right now. The next time life becomes difficult, do not immediately ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? The next time you feel fear, do not immediately run. Ask, what would courage do right now? The next time you feel lazy, do not negotiate with it. Ask, what promise did I make to myself? The next time your mind becomes noisy, return to your breath, return to silence, return to the present moment. Because the present moment is where life is lived. Not in yesterday, not in tomorrow. Here yesterday holds memory, tomorrow holds possibility, but today holds power. And today you can choose differently. Today you can stop running from yourself. Today You can stop feeding the thoughts that make you small. Today, you can stop waiting for permission. Today, you can begin the training. Not because it will be easy, but because you are tired of being controlled by what is easy. Easy choices create a hard life. Hard choices create a strong life. It is easy to complain. It is hard to take responsibility. It is easy to quit. It is hard to continue. It is easy to react. It is hard to stay calm. It is easy to be distracted. It is hard to focus. But the hard path is where transformation lives. The hard path teaches you who you are. The hard path removes what is weak. The hard path builds the version of you that can carry the life you are asking for. Because sometimes life does not give you what you want immediately because you are not yet ready to carry it. So instead of asking, why am I not there yet? Ask, what must I become to arrive there and stay there? Success without self-mastery can destroy a person. Money without discipline can disappear. Attention without humility can corrupt. Power without control can damage. Love without emotional maturity can suffer. That is why you must master yourself first. Become the person who can handle the life you want. Become calm enough to make wise decisions. Become disciplined enough to stay consistent. Become humble enough to keep learning. Become strong enough to keep going. Become peaceful enough not to destroy what you are building. Master your mind before you try to master life, because once the mind is mastered, life becomes clearer. You stop chasing everything. You stop reacting to everyone. You stop needing approval from people who do not understand your path. You stop wasting energy on battles that do not matter. You become focused, and focus is rare. A focused person is dangerous. Not dangerous because they harm others. Dangerous because they cannot be easily stopped. They know what they want. They know what matters. They know what must be ignored. They know the cost of their dream, and they are willing to pay it. They do not need to be seen every day. They do not need to be praised every day. They do not need to feel motivated every day. They just keep returning to the work. Quietly, gently, consistently. That is how lives change, not through one emotional moment, but through repeated, disciplined action. So when this speech ends, do not only feel inspired. Feelings inspired is easy. Do something. Take one action that proves to your mind you are no longer the same person. Clean your space, route the plan, start the workout, make the call, finish the task, forgive someone, apologize, wake up early, sit in silence, remove the distraction, begin again. One action, that is how mastery begins. And tomorrow, do it again, then again, then again, until your mind understands. We do not quit here. We do not run here. We do not live by excuses here. We do not allow fear to make our decisions here. We are building something stronger, a stronger mind, a stronger character, a stronger life. And one day, you will look back and realize that the life you wanted was not created by luck. It was created by discipline. It was created by the mornings you did not want to wake up, the moments you wanted to quit but continued, the times you stayed calm instead of reacting, the days you chose growth over comfort, the promises you kept when nobody was watching. That is mastery. So remember this, you do not need to control the whole world. You do not need to know every answer. You do not need to fix your entire life in one day. You only need to begin with your mind, master your thoughts, master your focus, master your reactions, master your habits. Master your inner voice, because when the mind becomes clear, the path becomes clear. When the mind becomes disciplined, the body follows. When the mind becomes peaceful, life no longer shakes you the same way. And when the mind becomes strong, You stop asking life to be easy. You become strong enough to face it. So breathe, stand still, look within. The battle is not outside you. The battle is inside. And the moment you win inside, everything outside begins to change. Master your mind first. Then life will no longer control you. You will walk through storms with silence. You will face pressure with patience. You will meet failure with wisdom. You will meet success with humility. And slowly, step by step, choice by choice, day by day, you will become the person you were always meant to be.